What's up, y'all? It's Maxx Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders here with the 33rd team. Today we're going to be breaking down all the quarterbacks in the divisional round. I've had, obviously the opportunity to play against all of them. So here's some tips, some strengths, weaknesses, things I see when I'm playing them. It's going to be a great show. Trevor Lawrence. This man is obviously he's a big dude. He's 6'6". I think he's 225, 230. He's more mobile than people think. I think that's the thing that separates him from most, quarterbacks. He's not only, big as hell, but he's super athletic. They have a great offense. They like to protect the quarterback at all costs. They do a lot of chips, a lot of slides, things of that nature. But they have speed all over the field, so guys are getting open quick. Christian Kirk has came to Jacksonville. He's been balling. They got Zay Jones, my brother, who's my former teammate. He's balling as well. Evan Ingram. They got a lot of guys that can really get after it. So a guy like Trevor Lawrence, he's in his second year. A lot of people, had a lot to say about him after his first year, but, obviously situation and all that ties into it. But you've seen what Doug Peterson's done, in his first year, taking them to the playoffs and also getting them a playoff win. It's honestly remarkable. Trevor Lawrence, I have a ton of respect for him. The dude he's got a crazy arm. He's athletic. He makes his decisions quick, and he makes big plays, in the biggest games. And you've seen that last week. They were down 27-0. He threw 4 picks in the first half. He flushed it, came back, scored 31 unanswered, and won the game. So I got a massive amount of respect for him. The dude he's definitely on his way up, and I think he's only going to get better. All right, y'all. Now we're going to talk about the man himself, Patty Mahomes. Me and him, we have a lot of history. We have a lot of, from the outside world, we got beef, but I got a ton of respect for the dude. He's the best in the league. I've been playing him since my rookie year, and the Chiefs are the standard in our division, and there's something we're chasing. So I got a ton of respect for the dude. The thing that makes him unique is that he's never going to give up on a play. A lot of quarterbacks, they're taught from a young age, if the pocket breaks down, throw the ball away, get rid of it. He literally does the opposite of what I feel like quarterbacks are taught. But that's what makes him him. He's a unique talent. He can make every single throw. He can throw with both hands sometimes. He scrambles. He's not crazy fast, but he knows how to make people miss. He knows how to keep the play going. He's just one of those people that he's like, honestly, the way I look at it, like he's like the Steph Curry of football. I feel like that's the perfect example. Like Steph Curry, the way he takes shots, like nobody's ever done the things that Curry did until he started doing them. And I feel like Mahomes is exactly that way. He's definitely a generational guy. So, for me, getting to play against him twice a year, it's been an honor. Getting to sack him multiple times has been an honor. But I got a ton of respect for him. Week 5, I believe it was, on Mahomes. This is my first sack on him of the year. I got him 3 times this year, so that was a personal best going against the Chiefs. I call this move barbecue chicken. I had the chip coming, and I was just like, I'm doing this spin regardless of what happens. And end up getting home and getting a sack, the 3rd play of the game in Kansas City. It was kind of a crowd silencer. So, yeah, I didn't slam him or anything either. Didn't want to get fined. Didn't want to get a penalty. I just turned him away from, his guys and got the whistle. So, yeah, Pat Mahomes, especially this game, it was a 1-point game. We end up losing. But it was a back and forth battle. Me and Mahomes were talking a lot, and I'm one of those guys that, I'm always trying to find a way to get under my opponent's skin, whether it's the O-line, the quarterback, but in particular, the quarterback. I feel like a lot of people don't like to say anything to the quarterback because that's who they are. They're the big guy, the big name. Like that, I like to do the opposite. Like I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Mahomes, Brady, I respect the hell out of them, but I feel like I'm one of those guys on the defensive side. I feel like I'm the top of the top on the defensive side, so I'm not scared to go and try to mess with them. So yeah, during this game, I was messing with him a little bit, pushing him on the shoulder, like after the ball was gone, just trying to mess with him to see how he would react, and he started getting irritated. So they go down, they score a touchdown, and I'm standing in the end zone, and Mahomes. Well, I didn't even know at the time, but somebody runs up behind and shoulder bumps me. And I'm like, I turn and I see Mahomes keep running to the end zone to go celebrate with Kelsey. So I'm like like in his like the way I seen it, he thought like I was just gonna like be okay with it, but he bumped me and I'm like, "What's up?" And I walked right up to him and he started walking at me. So my immediate, just natural human reaction, somebody's walking at me, I'm hitting first. So I headbutted him, and he was, I feel like, thrown off a little bit. And there's all the memes of I'm here, him doing that voice on the sideline. That was what that came from, and we were chopping it up and talking shit, and that's just a part of the game. But as the game went on, we're still talking, like just communicating, like no matter if it's good, bad, whatever, because we have that mutual respect for each other. Especially a guy like him, like the best of the best. You want to have, there's always that crazy competition, but you have that deep level of respect. And every time we play each other after the game, we're the first people to run up and show our love. And he's just one of those guys that's I just respect the hell out of him, and I just definitely look forward to continuing, taking him down and trying to beat the Chiefs, because they're the gold standard at the end of the day. All right, so the next guy we got is Daniel Jones. I played him last year in New York. I believe they had a tight win over us. It was a close game. But Daniel Jones, man, he's another one. He reminds me of Trevor Lawrence in a lot of ways. Super big. He's like 6'6". He's 230, I believe, and is fast. Like, that's the thing people, kind of sleep on Daniel Jones about, is he can really move. And I feel like Trevor Lawrence is very similar in that way. He's a big body. He's tough. And the weird thing about him, like, he doesn't say anything. He's super quiet, just has this like blank look to him. But as a defender, like, he's one of those guys, you could say whatever to him and he's just like gonna keep playing, and he's so locked in on his job. So I respect him a lot. He's a big dude. And just the things they're doing in New York right now, just in a year, they went from one of the worst teams to the best in the league. And I got a ton of respect for the things he's doing, and he's just getting better and better as the years go. And especially being in that market, taking all the heat over these years, he hasn't backed down. He's continued to work and get better, and it's finally come to the forefront. So Daniel Jones is a stud. He's fast, but you can pull the clip up. I chased his ass down, so I got you, Daniel. But next time we'll see. He's a stud. So big shout out to Daniel Jones and New York Giants. Now we got Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. Dude is an MVP candidate, having a hell of a year. The new playoff teams this year is all the quarterbacks are guys that, are young. They've been doubted early on. People kind of wrote them off, and now they're all coming along, from Trevor Lawrence to Daniel Jones to Jalen Hurts. And that's just respect to those guys' work ethic and their mental, fortitude, just being able to, weather the storm, especially playing quarterback. You take so much heat, but they've just gotten better and worked, and now their teams are all in great positions right now. So, Jalen Hurts, man, he's he's a unique guy. He's kind of got like a running back's body. He's not super tall, but he's very athletic, and he's like Josh Jacobs with the ball in his hand. Obviously, not as fast, but he's definitely got that, like, his thick lower base is unique for a quarterback. He can definitely break tackles. He can make people miss in the open field, and he can also make a lot of big throws. And he's got crazy weapons. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. They got Miles Sanders. They got a ton of dudes. So playing Jalen Hurts last year, it was a lot of fun. We got a big win against them. And honestly, I got beef with him because I hit a little spin move. I got home and he was literally falling and just threw the ball to nobody and got an incompletion and didn't just take the sack. And it was in the fourth quarter, and I was rushing well all game, and he just threw it away right before he went down. And I was, it would have been like the final cherry on top. But it is what it is. I got him. They had a QB sneak last year where I did a little Troy Polamalu and got him on a third down. So he's just a unique athlete, man. He's got a lot of ability. He's got a lot of talent around him, and I feel like Jalen is just at the beginning of what he's going to become. All right, next we got Joey Burrow. Dude is an absolute stud. Personally, he's one of my favorite players. Just watching on film, the dude is he's got a swag to him that most young guys don't have. He's got a ton of confidence. He obviously can make all the throws, do basically everything you want a quarterback to do. But he just got this. I don't know how to describe it, but he's just got a different type of confidence. He's got like that Brady like swag and confidence where he knows he's the guy. And that's something, as a player, that's what you try to, get to, and have that level of confidence that's at a whole nother level. And he's just an absolute stud, man. He's the amount of things he's done already in his career, just in a short couple of years. It's unheard of. So yeah, the main thing with the Bengals, they got talent all over the place. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they got, Hayden Hurst has came in, done a good job. But the one thing with them is, they've gotten definitely improved from last year, but both tackles are hurt right now. They got a lot of injuries on the O-line, and, the way to affect Burrow is get pressure on him. And that's, you've seen it last year. I think the Titans had like 9 or 10 sacks in the playoff game against them. I had a sack against them when we played in the playoffs. Their O-line has some holes. All due respect, they got injuries. They're dealing with a lot. But, that's just a credit to Joe Burrow on top of it, because he's getting pressured all the time, getting hit, but he's still finding a way to get the job done and still making plays and putting up crazy numbers. So that's just even more respect to him. So the thing with the Bills, Vaughn is out, but they have Greg Rosu, they got Basham, they got a lot of younger guys that really need to step up for them to win that game, because if you let Burrow sit back there in the pocket, he's going to literally make every single throw. So it's going to be a really interesting game. This is probably the game I'm most excited to watch this weekend. It's going to be a banger. So I'm locked in. I'm fired up. Super excited for, these playoffs. It makes me inspired, man, because I know at the end of the day, this all I want to do is play in the biggest games. And, I just want to be in these games. I don't know. I just went off topic, but I'm pissed. I'm in my facility right now. I want to be playing football still. But it is what it is. All right. Next guy, we got Josh Allen, the man-child, absolute beast. Another dude. It just shows in the NFL right now, the quarterback position is insane. These young guys from, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, everybody, they just keep getting better and better. And, Josh Allen, the way he's improved in his career has been incredible. My first career sack, it was actually, technically they gave me a half sack for it, but my first sack in college was against Josh Allen when he was at Wyoming. And I got to play him twice, in my career in college. And then I ended up getting a sack on him 2 years ago when we played here in Vegas against the Bills. But, he's a unique talent. I knew from the second I saw when I played him in college, we were at like the goal line. It was like it might have been a 4th down, and they ran like a boot. Josh Allen rolls out. You have to find this clip, by the way. It's crazy. But this dude jumped from like the 5-yard line, and I'm running in pursuit. This dude jumped off 1 foot and I've never seen a human being that high in the air. And this dude is 6'5", 240 monster. He was floating off 1 foot, and we hit him at like the half-yard line, and he was short, and we ended up winning the game. But just athletically, I knew he was a freak of nature. He was just so raw early on, but he just polished up his game. And I feel like that, that's where I can relate to him. And we got a level of respect for each other, because, we're both coming from smaller schools. We both had a lot to clean up and a lot to build on. But to see where our careers have gone just by putting in work, that's what for me, especially, like I try to push that, to the young guys. And it doesn't matter where you are in college or where you're at. It's about where you're going and what you're going to do with it. And, I feel like Josh would say the same exact thing. I can't speak for him, but, just the work, you could tell he's putting in work like crazy, and he's just continued to get better and better. So, he's going to give the Bengals problems. He's got a ton of weapons. They got Stephon Diggs, who's arguably the best receiver in the game, obviously besides Devontae Adams. But, they just got a lot of weapons and a lot of things to work with. And Josh Allen is, the main reason why that thing is going the way it's going. So that Bengals-Bills game is going to be lit, and I can't wait to watch it. All right, y'all. So now we're going to talk about Dak Prescott, another former 4th-round pick. So big shout out to the 4th-round pick guys. We're all around the league killing it. But Dak Prescott, man, I got a ton of respect for him. The dude's a dog. No matter what, he's going to always put his team first. And if he needs a first down, he's going to put his shoulder down to go get that first. Like that's something. It's the little things that I respect about him. He's a great player, obviously, but he's tough as hell, and you could definitely see it when you watch him. This is another thing too. It's not just physically tough; it's mentally. This season he's taken a lot of heat. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. Which is not normal for him, but he's still had a good year. But people have been just dogging him, and you seen what he did in the first round versus the Bucs, man. He lit him up. And going into this week, coming off a huge game, we were just talking about this, but confidence is everything. At the end of the day, in the NFL, if you go onto a field not confident, you're going to get your ass whooped every single time. And a guy like Dak Prescott, he's a dog. I know the work he puts into it, and how great he wants to be. So yeah, a guy like him getting hot right now is the perfect time for him. So that's a scary combination. The Cowboys got a lot going on, and they got a running game. They got Zeke and Tony Pollard. Zeke is kind of turned into more of a red zone threat and early down threat, and Tony Pollard is more of that home run hit. But it's they got a scary combination of talent and players, and obviously you can talk about their defense all day. Their front, they got like 7-8 guys who can all get home. So it's a scary combination over there in Dallas. So I just I know Dak is going to be ready to go. I know that team's going to be ready to go, but San Fran's going to be ready to go as well. And that's it's going to be a crazy matchup. And you seen what happened last year. It came down to literally the last second. So I'm definitely be fired up to watch that, and going to be locked in for sure. All right, the last guy we got here is Brock Purdy, the rookie, Iowa State. You can go on and on about this dude. The fact that he's come in such a short time and been playing the way he's been playing is incredible. Obviously they have an incredible coach. They have incredible players. They've got it all, and that's what makes the 49ers so dangerous. The running back, they got Christian McCaffrey. They got Deebo Samuel. They got arguably the best tight end, George Kittle. They got literally they're stacked at every position. They got the best left tackle. They've got it all. And on top of it, they got Shanahan, who's, in my opinion, one of the best in this generation, as far as calling plays. This dude, I've heard a lot about him. You watch him on TV, but getting to play against them, they make it so difficult. And especially, in my position, I know they're going to be chipping me and doubling me and things like that and throwing different looks at me. But they brought the house at me, and they did a lot of different things that were super difficult to defend. And, that's just what makes them tough to beat. They're very unorthodox in the way they approach, running the ball and play action and things of that nature. And, Brock Purdy, the fact that he's come in, had the success, it's not a coincidence. You got to give the man his flowers. At the end of the day, whether he's a starter next year or not, which would be crazy if he's not. But, the dude has came in and he's played with a ton of confidence. And that's something you could definitely just see on the field. And that's a credit to not only him, but the coaching staff as well, getting him, ready to go and ball at that level. It's impressive. And, it's not easy, especially at the quarterback position. You got all these ballers around you. You're the final piece. You're the quarterback. You're the one calling the plays. That's a lot of pressure on a rookie to go in there with confidence. Like, no, I got you. I'm going to step in and we're going to win. That just shows you, that's the level of confidence it takes to succeed at this level. And, I got nothing but respect for him. He shook me out my shoes when we played. I thought I had a sack early in the game. I'm not going to call my guy, but he was supposed to be blitzing, containing. The blitzer didn't come, so I had like a straight run, and I thought someone's coming to blitz, but he didn't come. So Purdy shook me a little bit, got outside, and I ended up not getting a sack. But it was close a few times, but I got a lot of credit for him. The he's small too. He's not a big dude, but he's tough and he stands in there and makes a lot of throws. So big shout out to him. Shout out to Kyle Shanahan, that whole squad, man. They got a lot of talent, and they're a lot to handle for sure.